Hello everyone, welcome back to another review. Today we're looking at a game that has caught my eye as a fan of all things simulation, RoadCraft by Saber Interactive. And just to be upfront, this review is based on the demo version and not the full release. So while I'll share my honest thoughts on RoadCraft, which releases on the 20th of May, please keep in mind that this is just a taste of what the full game has to offer. Now, I spent a good amount of time in MudRunner, which is basically the chillest, muddiest therapy session you can have with a controller. So naturally, I had some pretty high hopes for this one, especially given it's been 8 years since MudRunner first dropped. Before we jump into RoadCraft specifically, I wanted to touch upon why sim games are having such a moment right now. From truck driving to power washing to flipping houses, there's something oddly satisfying about doing a job you don't actually do in real life. While researching for this review, I came across an article from the University of British Columbia, which stuck with me. I'll leave a link in case you're interested. It talked about how there are two types of games we play, fantasy and simulation. One is about escaping into other worlds and role-playing as other characters that cast spells and slay monsters. The other is all about experiencing real-world jobs without real-world limitations. No early mornings, no bad bosses. Yeah, I know. Just you, a digital toolbox, and the open road. And that's what makes sim games like RoadCraft so satisfying. You're doing something completely different from your usual day-to-day, like building roads and operating heavy machinery, but in a way that feels relaxing, creative, and oddly fulfilling. Let's dig into it. I went into this demo not really sure what to expect. I saw bulldozers in the trailer and thought, alright, could this be good as MudRunner? But after playing it with a couple of mates, I was fully on board. There we were, yelling at each other, tipping cranes off the side of a mountain, and trying to build a bridge with limited resources. It was a mess, but most importantly, it was our mess. So in this review, I'm going to walk you through the demo, what we got to play, how it looked, how it felt, and whether it was worth keeping on your radar. Alright, so the demo gave you access to 3 missions, and each one throws you into a completely different environment with its own set of objectives. First up, fix the grid. You're in a deep, rugged forest area, and your job is to cut trees, clear a path, and reconnect a concrete factory to the power grid. Sounds simple, right? You're dealing with fallen trees, tight spaces, and a terrain that hates you. It becomes a really cool logistics puzzle. Then there's Clear the Way, which puts you in this big desert sandbox. It's very Mad Max vibes. Your task is to bulldoze wreckages and debris so you can rebuild the road and let convoys through. There's something weirdly satisfying about watching the convoy finally roll out after having spent an hour or so clearing and rebuilding the path. And finally, Seal the Breach. Easily my favourite of the 3, and probably the one where we had the most laughs. You're working near a broken pipeline, hauling defective pipes and trying to patch things together using nearby quarries. It felt like solving a huge muddy jigsaw puzzle, but with giant machinery. Loved it. Each map brought something different to the table, and it really felt like a mini campaign rather than a tech demo. Let's talk graphics. RoadCraft actually looks gorgeous. You've got these sun-scorched deserts, misty forests, flooded wetlands. Each environment feels distinct and alive. Lighting and weather effects are especially nice. When the crowds roll in and the rain starts falling, it generally adds to the atmosphere. And the vehicle models, they're stunning. Everything from cranes to trucks has solid, clunky look to it. You might not stop to admire the mud physics while you're stuck in a ditch, but trust me, it's there and it looks great. A big shout out to the water physics as well, they looked incredible. Audio is solid too. Directional sounds are well done. You'll hear clanks, crunches, engine revving, and the ambient sound of nature. It really helps to ground you in the world. Alright, let's break down what playing RoadCraft actually felt like. The vehicle variety is excellent. Cranes, haulers, pipe layers, tree cutters, each one has its own purpose and adds to the puzzle of each mission. And like SnowRunner, MudRunner, RoadCraft is the same. And I appreciate that it's not driving from point A to B. You're building roads, recycling parts to make pipes, managing terrain, even reconnecting power. That's enough variety to keep things fresh. It feels like there are options on how you navigate around the map as well. It's your playpen to complete the distinct objectives. Terrain physics are another highlight. When your wheels start spinning and you're sliding down a slope, it has that classic sim game panic moment. You feel the struggle, but do you know what you won't struggle to do? Is hit that like button if you're enjoying this review, and hit subscribe as well if you would like to find your way back to future reviews. Thank you. The downside, the driving felt a bit floaty. Vehicles don't quite have that heavy grounded feel that you get in MudRunner, especially when you're stuck in the mud. It's not game breaking, but it does make things feel a little off sometimes. Also, the route plotting system for convoys, kind of fiddly. One small bump and suddenly your convoy just gives up, and there wasn't really any reason for it, or that we could see as to why it was failing. And yes, there are bugs, frame drops, clunky menus, weird physic moments, but it was the demo, so I'm giving it some slack. There is a lot to love here, but also quite a few things that I hope are improved on the full release. If you like sim games like SnowRunner and MudRunner, it's worth keeping an eye out for the full release on the 20th of May. RoadCraft leans more into the task side of things. You're repairing, building, and solving logistical problems. And for me, it kind of misses the magic of MudRunner. It's almost like the main experience of MudRunner is the driving and the tasks is secondary. It's a great excuse to chill with your friends, mess around with heavy machinery with no consequences, and laugh as someone accidentally reverses into a power pole and gets themselves stuck. 100% wasn't me. Okay, it was. But 10 out of 10 for vibes. I have somehow glitched into...
To the build.
to a building, yeah. I was reversing round and... My rating for this demo is a quick session. It's fun in short bursts, especially with friends, but I look forward to seeing how the full game feels on release. Let me know your thoughts. Did you play the RoadCraft demo? And are you excited for the full release on the 20th of May? Drop your thoughts, as I'd love to hear what kind of chaos you got into. Thank you for watching, and happy road building out there. I'll catch you in the next one.